County Talk, we decided to delay the match preview that we normally release on a Sunday for a Tuesday game because of the heavy snow, and it's actually paid off, luckily enough. So the fixture has been reversed, so it's going to be played at Meadow Lane now at 7:45 on Wednesday instead of at Solihull on Tuesday. So yeah, it's a good chance, I think, to try and get some home form back, start scoring a few goals at home. But yeah, a bit of an action-packed day today, really, in terms of news coming out of the club. But I'll go on to that later on in the video. So I'll hand over to Tom now for players to watch and stats.
So the stats and facts for the game then. Solihull currently sit one place above Notts in 7th. They have 25 points, whereas Notts have 24 points. Solihull have actually scored one more goal than Notts and played one game less. Both sides have conceded 13. So you wouldn't say both sides are free scoring, but certainly got very good defensive records, which is, either way you look at it, Notts have obviously sacrificed now. They have a better defence for that less potent attacking threat. Now this fixture has obviously been switched around. Very good planning from both clubs. Take note the overall time. But if you have a look at why this I think is very good for Notts, Solihull actually have the second best home record in the division. Well, they have the second best home record. Only Torquay have a better one. And Notts' away record is the 17th best in the division. Again, Solihull won 8 out of the last 9 home games. And I think this comes at a time with, no disrespect, Weymouth coming up. I think if Notts can get a positive result against Solihull and then push on against Weymouth, I think it'll be looking very good for the Magpies. Similar records, as I've already said, and last season we had a draw at home which was absolutely dire. One of the worst games of football I've seen live. They set up for that draw. They set up not to concede. It was just terrible. And the away fixture was heading the same way until Wes Thomas obviously left this evening. Until Wes Thomas put one away and we blocked about 2 on the line. Some fantastic saves being made in what was a fantastic away day around the Christmas period last year. Players to watch out for. So I've got a choice of 3, and I think they pretty much pick themselves. The first is James Ball. Now he's a midfielder. He's not had absolutely loads of minutes this season. He's played 9 games but scored 4 in those games. So if you're a Solihull fan watching this, just drop us a note as to why he's not played more games, because when he plays he seems to be effective. Sort of a spell of 2 games on, 2-3 games off, then a game on and a couple of games off. So it'll be interesting to know why that's the case, fitness-wise or other issues. The next is Adam Rooney. You know him. If you know football, you know Adam Rooney. At Salford. He was slated for leaving Aberdeen in the Scottish Premier League to drop down to Salford. Scored a load of goals. Now, another player that's minutes aren't really where they want them to be. Only played 3 games, but he scored a goal and it was a winner in a win over Boreham Wood. Now he's going to be a goal threat, isn't he? You could be in the worst form of your life. You've got that chance in you as a goal scorer or as a poacher, and you're dangerous all the time. No matter what form you're in, you have to watch a player like Adam Rooney. So yeah, whether he plays is another story, but a player we've got to watch nevertheless. And the final player, now until recently I didn't actually know he'd moved to Solihull, is Jamie Ward. Now he's played at Derby and that other team in Nottingham that play in red. He's played for both of them. He's played throughout the Football League, a very, very good footballer. And for the National League level, he is very, very good. Now, he's definitely someone we've got to watch out for. Last played for Scunthorpe. I think he still could do a job in the Football League, no doubt. A lot of Notts players like that, but he's not National League level for me. His performances this season, I'm not sure how they've been, but he's a player we're going to have to watch, especially coming in off the wings. Only a few years ago, playing in the Championship. So very, very good player, and they're my 3 to watch out for.
Right then, team news. So the big news that came out today was that Wes Thomas has terminated his contract early at Notts due to family reasons. He had obviously stopped playing because of concerns about COVID and the way it was, spreading, and the numbers are quite high at the moment, which is understandable. He's got a young family. He's just had a new child, I believe. So, you can't be too harsh on him. I think he's going to be heavily missed. It's shown that we have missed him because he was really good last season. I thought quite an important player, I feel. And at the start of this season, the few games that he did play, he looked really good. So he's going to leave, a big hole, I think, in the squad. Will we replace him? I hope we do. I hope we sort of pick up a similar style striker to him. Innie Effiong's a great replacement, but I know Odd is a man that likes to have 4 strikers, so I do feel as if he will be replaced. And obviously, we've got McCroy, who's always out. Turner is still on suspension for another 2 games. Be 1 game, obviously, after this one. And Cal Roberts, now, I'm absolutely dying out to see this man play again, because I feel like he's what we need. Just that little bit of magic, that little bit of excellence. There's no way in the news of Cal Roberts at the moment. I'm hoping he is playing and they're just keeping it a little bit quiet, but time will tell. Time will tell, because if he's not playing, I know he's edging so close, because he has put videos and pictures of him in training. So hope to see you soon, Cal. I'm gonna go into the squad that me and Tom have selected. I'm going in as if Roberts isn't fit, because there's no news that he is. In goal, Sam Slocum, fantastic, say no more. Brindley played really well against Torquay, probably man of the match in my opinion, so you can't really replace him. Centre back pairing, Lacey and Rawlinson, say no more really. They always get that sort of good performance from those two, especially Rawlinson. You always get that 7 or 8 out of 10 performance from him. Same with Kelly Evans, who are going for at left back. Now that back 4 for me, solid. They were solid against the league leaders, and they showed no signs of leakage, so fair play to them. Obviously 4-2-3-1 again, sitting in front of the back 4, Doyle and Reeves. Can't really say much more on that, to be honest with you. They've been fantastic, I think, so far this season. And in front of those, I've gone for Enzio on the right, because it's Enzio, fantastic player, skillful, take a man on, take the shot. On the other side, I've gone for Miller. I really want to see his attacking, see how he does attacking, because we've only seen him so far at left back, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes, how he does a bit further on up the pitch, where he does prefer to play, I suppose. And in the middle, I've gone for Knowles. Now, the only reason I've gone for Knowles is because I think Rodriguez, he made a few mistakes in the last game. I'm not being overcritical, but I just feel like, just to sit him on the bench for this one and bring him on after about an hour or so, he'll have a big impact on the game, because he does have an impact on the game normally. But I just feel like this is one of those games where Jimmy Knowles can play off the striker. So up top, gone for Wharton. I know I've kept it the same, and we didn't play this formation or this style last time, but I do feel like that formation does work. I did like seeing Effiong and Wharton playing off each other and having 2 strikers, but obviously, as we saw, we didn't get any goals. So whether we change it straight away or stick with it and see if it does sort of work and we needle through and get a few goals, I don't know. But I would like to see that lineup. I feel like you've got, obviously, for me, Knowles is young. He's hungry for goals. He wants to impress, because he essentially just wants to have a good career and do well for himself. So he's always got that little bit, I want to try this and I want to do that. And it shows, because he always nicks a goal, doesn't he? And I say that every video, I know. Right then, my score prediction. Solihull are, a solid side. They're up there in the league. Defensively, last season when we played them, they were solid when we played them at our place. I think, was it goalless or was it 1-0 to us? They were absolutely solid. So I don't think it's going to be a walkover game by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be 1-0 Notts. And I'm going for Miller to get his first goal for Notts.
Now, what I say is a score, literally, and any scoreline. You could pluck anything out of thin air, and you're not going to be sure of what the score is going to be in any of these games. There's no form, there's nothing. There's games being moved from home to away. There's games being called off for COVID, although Saturday there were no postponed fixtures in the National League, and let's hope that continues. It's going to be tricky. I think George has predicted a win every single weekend, as you should do as a fan. I've been a bit more cautious and predicted a couple of draws, and I'm going for a draw here. Neither side score many, neither side concede many, so I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think Notts will take the lead, but I think they will come back. I feel like it'll be one of the Stockport kind of games, but with a striker like Adam Rooney or Jamie Ward, they could just pull one back when Notts are completely under the cosh. I do hope Notts win, and if we do win, it would be a 1-0. But the goal scorer, I'm going to go for Effiong. So that's my prediction. See if you agree with our lineup or our score prediction, and leave what you think in the comment section below.